Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I want to go over the Packers' top needs heading into this 2022 NFL Draft. I literally just filmed an entire video, a 9-minute video, and realized my mic wasn't on. So this is round 2 for me. So when we take a look at this Packers draft, I think there are definitely lots of different positions that could make sense in these first couple rounds. But I want to start off with the 5th highest need for the Packers, and I think that is the safety position. When we take a look at the Packers safeties, of course, with Adrian Amos as well as Darnell Savage, both of them coming into their final years of their contract. Darnell Savage in the final year of his rookie contract. In the next couple of weeks, the Packers could decide to come in and exercise that 5th-year option to allow him to potentially stay another year. Adrian Amos also in the last year of his contract as well. So with both of these contracts potentially expiring, with it potentially being gone, I don't expect them both to be gone after next season, but maybe Adrian Amos ends up leaving, who knows. I do think it's important for the Packers at some point in this draft, if it's not early in the draft, maybe somewhere in the middle rounds, for them to come in here in this draft and address that position. Clearly, I think there also needs to be some more depth coming into 2022 at the safety position, but definitely for the next couple of years, drafting a safety in this draft is definitely important. And maybe it's a first-round option, maybe it's a second-round option. I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers use one of their top picks on a safety prospect. So now moving on to number 4, we have the offensive line. So if we look at the Packers offensive line, as it is sort of right now, of course, we lost Billy Turner as well as Lucas Patrick this offseason. So right now we got David Bakhtiari at left tackle. Hopefully his knee is fine when the season starts. I assume it should be, considering he only played in that one Detroit Lions game versus the Lions. And besides that, he pretty much has been resting. So I would assume he's going to be completely healthy. Hopefully he's back to how he used to play. We, of course, got Elgton Jenkins, who is still dealing with that injury. Who knows when he will be back. But the Packers could potentially decide to push him to right tackle. Maybe they keep him at left guard and use Josh Nijman, who I think played really well last year at right tackle, or played really well at tackle last year. Maybe they push him to right tackle. That's definitely a possibility. We got Josh Myers coming in at center, coming into his second year. Royce Newman in his second year as well, after having a somewhat okay, rookie season. Hopefully he takes some steps forward. And we got John Runyon as well there at guard. So I think when we look at Elgton Jenkins' injury, and then we also look at, losing those two players in Billy Turner and Lucas Patrick, I think it's definitely important for the Packers to come in here and at least to get some depth at on the offensive line, whether that's tackle, whether that's guard. Let's say it's a guard like Zion Johnson in the first round. Maybe he can compete with John Runyon and Royce Newman and potentially be a starter there for the Packers this upcoming year. I think that's definitely a possibility. So I think the Packers will probably address the O-line at some point in this draft coming into this Thursday night. Then for the third biggest need, I have here edge rusher. So looking at edge rusher for the Packers, we got Rashawn Gary, of course, coming back. We got Preston Smith, signing that extension with the Packers. We, of course, lose Zadarius Smith. So, of course, last year, Zadarius Smith didn't really play. He was dealing with that back injury pretty much a majority of the season. But now with him gone, it's definitely key for the Packers to come in and get a guy who I think can be that third rotational guy. Maybe come in, play 10, 15 snaps in his first season. Because we still have Tipa Naliai as well as Jonathan Garvin, but I don't think they're the most exciting guys to have there. I think we definitely need to add some more depth there. Maybe early in the draft, it could make sense round 1 to come in, draft an edge rusher, depending on sort of who's there in that moment. Then number 2, we have the interior defensive line. So right now, looking at the D-line, we got Kenny Clark, who is a monster. Lots of times, teams have to come in and double team him. We added Jaron Reed from the Chiefs, who could be a good option there to use. A veteran guy who has been playing for a while. Hasn't really played as great in his past couple seasons as he did earlier in his career, but hopefully he can sort of resurge there. We got Dean Lowry as well. And then we have TJ Slayton coming into year 2, who I think will take some big steps forward. He is great against the run, a great run stuffer, big, massive guy. Will be obviously tough to block him. But I think to add another guy alongside Kenny Clark, where if we have Kenny Clark, getting double teamed, to have a maybe first round, second round guy there who could come in and be able to dominate alongside Kenny Clark, that would make this Packers run defense that much better. We saw last year, I think when you take a look at yards per carry, they were in the bottom 5 in the NFL. So I definitely think shoring up that run defense is definitely important, and there's no better way, I think, than adding a guy on the interior of the defensive line there. So we'll see if the Packers do that. If a guy like Devontae Wyatt or Jordan Davis were to fall to 22, I would not be opposed. I would be pretty happy if the Packers drafted a guy like that at number 22, a guy who could come in year 1 and make some plays for this Packers defense. Then the number 1 need, which you probably are not shocked to see this year, we have a wide receiver. Of course, with Davante Adams leaving, that clearly made this the biggest need on this Packers roster. The Packers decided to come in, add a veteran player in Sammy Watkins, a 1-year, $4 million deal. And honestly, I'm wondering, this probably still would be, maybe it would be one of the bigger needs if Davante Adams was still here. But obviously, with him gone, there's no question this is the biggest need. The question, though, is will the Packers use a first-round pick on a wide receiver? Honestly, right now, I was thinking about it before this video. What do I actually think is going to happen? And honestly, when it comes to wide receiver in the first round, it seems like it should be the year the Packers break the 20-year streak of not drafting wide receiver. But honestly, I almost feel like it's a coin flip. Part of me wonders if Gutekunst is just going to keep the streak going and draft a guy in the second round with the 2 picks we have in the second round, or at least one of those picks. I wouldn't be shocked. So right now, honestly, I'm 50-50 on the Packers actually drafting wide receiver. I think it definitely comes down to, who is there, which wide receivers have been taken. And we'll see, because if the guy that Gutekunst likes is still there, he'll obviously take him. But if lots of receivers have been gone and, other positions have fallen down to 22, I wouldn't be shocked if the Packers come in, take a D lineman, edge rusher, offensive lineman, even a safety in the first round. If lots of wide receivers have flown off the board, I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever coming into this draft. But honestly, I hope the Packers are able to land a wide receiver in the first round, just because I think it is the biggest need. I think most Packers fans see it as the biggest need, with Davante Adams leaving, of course, for the Las Vegas Raiders. If you guys haven't subscribed, you want to see more Packers content, I put it out on this channel daily, so feel free to subscribe down below. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter, Luke_Beller on Twitter, I put out more Packers content over there as well. So I'll leave that link in the description as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, the draft is almost here. Can't wait. See you guys next time.